Coming off, obviously a week that, we played our best Big Ten game last Thursday and beating a ranked Michigan State team. Did it with our defense, got 7 stops to start the game. Weren't great offensively at the beginning, but again, ended up ending the quarter, successfully on a 12-2 run and really, as you hope at this point in the year, your seniors with, both their experience and the sense of urgency are helping guide your team. And, Marsha Howard had 20 points in the first half of the Michigan State game. We're up by 19 at halftime. She scores the first 3 baskets of the third quarter. And again, I think our most complete probably performance since before Christmas. We go to Ohio State yesterday and get off to a great start, have the lead in the first quarter, up 6 at halftime, doing a lot of the things with a couple of adjustments in our lineup that we hadn't played all year, playing without Imani Lewis. So we played a single post a decent amount of time, and they got the crowd into it to start the third quarter and really finish the quarter well. Again, I give our kids a lot of credit. We didn't play our best basketball in the second half. Went through a pretty long scoring drought in the fourth quarter. Still, were able to make plays at the end of the game to give us a chance. You go down 13 with 4 minutes left on the road in February. There's a lot of teams that I think start looking towards the trip home and who the next opponent is. And our kids kept grinding away and got a couple stops. We took a charge. We fouled. They missed some free throws. We made some plays, and off a missed free throw with 4 seconds left, down 2. We had a chance, obviously, to tie it or even win it. So we're definitely making progress. I think on the road, it's a battle every night, no matter home or away, but definitely on the road in the Big Ten. And now you turn around and you play an opponent, who's only had 2 games like you in between. You get them back here at the Kohl Center, obviously. We did not play our best basketball a week ago yesterday at Champaign. Looking forward to that challenge and being able to have that chip on our shoulder to get ready for Wednesday.
Hi, Jonathan. What's up with Imani Lewis? Do you expect her back here soon?
Yeah, she'll be back. Unfortunately, there was a death in the family, and so we wanted to make sure. She knew she could spend some time, but she's on her way back and will be in practice with us and should be all set to go for Wednesday. By the way, after last Saturday, did you get any time off this weekend, Brian?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
Just
no.
checking.
Has she exceeded your expectations, Imani, as a freshman?
She has. Excuse me. I think this summer, she did a lot of skill work on the perimeter. And I think as we went through and saw where we felt she could be most effective for our team, led us to believe that would be playing more inside and being a versatile post player. And, I think like anything with any freshman, once they get to the Big Ten, how can you be consistent? How do you know when you're going to be scouted at a different level at any point than you were, be scouted at a different level in the Big Ten at any point in the non-conference. I think, the upperclassmen have done a good job of pushing her and not letting her settle for things. And again, I think knowing that she has such a high level that she can still grow into. And, I think that was, this weekend we talked a lot about. We've gone through that situation before during the year where we've missed players and we missed Nia Beverly for a stretch, and that we'd already done that. Just happens to be a different player, and without Imani, without Alex Luring, I started reading the names off, and I feel like the name list of who we didn't have was longer than the players that were dressed ready to go in the game yesterday. But I think Imani is somebody that we always have, and I think a lot of the good players are sometimes harder on themselves than they need to be and understand what they're doing well. And I think all freshmen, a lot of times, especially at this point of the year, because now the season's longer than at any point ever in their 4 years of high school. It's just understanding how they can have themselves ready for each practice and each game.
How is Alex doing?
Alex is better, so Alex will be back with us today, and her status still kind of is day to day. So, again, I think we forget Alex is really a freshman as well. After redshirting last year at Green Bay, just trying to get her in more repetitions, and again, it's unfortunate. To not be able to have her out there as well. Just the practice time, I think, is so important. Now, I will say, you look at a glass half full, and I think it's helped Jasmine Hale get more repetitions in practice, and I think that showed yesterday. She was able to play 15 minutes, gave us another perimeter score. I thought did some good things off the bounce. Knocked down a shot in the first half when Ohio State was in, box and one. On Suzanne as well as in the second half. She got a layup that, obviously allowed us to set our press and give us a chance at the end.
You talked a little bit about Marcia. What have you seen from her like the last few games, especially as she's kind of counting down her career?
Yeah, I think the sense of urgency, but I think she has had great movement without the basketball. Versus man, versus zone. She's put herself in positions, to succeed, and I think knowing too, each time, like I joke when she starts, I'm like, it's getting less and less. Like you've got to take advantage of that, and obviously a great career accomplishment to get her 1,000th point yesterday at Ohio State. I think maybe even more impactful knowing she'd trade that yesterday for us to get a win. But again, as part of being a leader, is you want people that are going to do the things you are doing and understand the game and value each rep. And I think she's done that in practice at a higher level. So for that to just happen in the games is if you see it behind the scenes, trying to lead our team to do things that we haven't done while she's been here.
No, you're focused on Illinois, but you've got Rutgers after that. You've been in this racket for a while. What has C. Vivian Stringer meant to women's college basketball?
Well, I see the impact she's had every single day because, Maya McCurdy, now Maya Johnson, played for her there. And you see it's so much more than basketball. I think, I see it as a coworker. I see it as a parent. With Maya and having a small child and just the powerful woman, and again the confidence, all those things that I think Coach Stringer has with her players. And Coach Carter was at Rutgers as a player, and then obviously as a men's assistant, and was around the women's program as well. And so you see that, and she's impacted our game, no question. With the level of coaching and the great team she's had. But on a greater scale, if you look, her coaching tree from players and assistants that were at Iowa and that were at Cheyney State, obviously, to being at Rutgers now, it's not just what she's doing at Rutgers that impacts our game. It is those branches that she has. We're fortunate enough, obviously, to have Maya. But to see how grooming and impacting young women to become powerful women no matter what they do, I think is the greatest compliment I can give her. And again, it's we have great coaches in this league, but in the end, you hope that impact is what you have as a head coach, and I know I aspire to every day, and to have somebody like that in our league doing it at the highest level. Coach Stringer, I think, takes a tremendous amount of pride, and rightfully so.
Your ball control has really improved the last few games, especially cutting down on those turnovers. Is that something you've practiced, and how has that helped you kind of overall in your game?
Well, I think it's, when you take better care of the basketball, I think our men's program is, the gold standard in the Big Ten. And it's a lot easier to play transition defense when you don't turn it over because, again, turnovers for touchdowns, to use a football analogy. It's helped us set, whether we're in man, we're in zone. And again, you take away 5 or 6 turnovers a game, you're getting shots or you're getting to the free throw line, and that's obviously going to impact your scoring as well. So, sometimes it's a matter of understanding what we're running a little bit better. when you get to this part of the season. Sometimes you simplify some things and not continue to add on. But that goes a credit to our kids. On every time that there is a turnover, there's usually more than one person at fault. Passing and catching is such a basic skill, but such an important one. And again, to be able to go on the road yesterday, even the last 2 games, and again, not turn the ball over to give ourselves the best opportunity to be successful on the offensive end.